Welcome to Omni Update. Today, there is incredibly dangerous news coming out of Estonia. Russia has reportedly activated separatist cells, openly challenging Estonia's right to exist and preparing forces for a potential intervention. With the stakes rising alarmingly fast, the Estonian government is preparing to counter these Russian attempts decisively before the crisis escalates into a full-scale incursion. Russia has sharply escalated its rhetoric against the Baltic states following a series of devastating Ukrainian drone strikes that completely crippled Russia's key Baltic sea oil export terminals. Russian analysts are now openly arguing that these Ukrainian drones must have flown through Baltic airspace to reach their targets. Moscow is using this unverified claim as justification for creating a so-called security zone deep inside Baltic territory. They are framing Estonia not just as a hostile neighbor, but as a direct military threat, pointing to its large Russian-speaking population as a pretext for intervention and legitimizing future escalation. This aggressive rhetoric reflects clear strategic objectives. Russia's Baltic ports, specifically Primorsk and Ust-Luga, handle up to 40% of the country's seaborne oil exports, forming a critical financial artery that sustains the Kremlin's war effort. After Ukrainian deep strike drones disabled massive sections of this capacity, Moscow is now desperately trying to lock down the surrounding airspace and maritime routes. Every single day these exports do not flow costs the Russian government an estimated $178 million. By cranking up the pressure on Estonia through constant airspace violations, GPS jamming, and maritime confrontations, Russia is effectively trying to create an informal denial zone to deter any further Ukrainian strikes. But this pressure campaign serves a broader geopolitical purpose, testing NATO's resolve. By operating just below the threshold of open warfare, Russia is probing alliance cohesion, hoping to expose divisions and weaken Western support for Ukraine. At the same time, the groundwork for a physical escalation is already being laid. Russian-linked channels have entered a dangerous new phase of information warfare, actively promoting the creation of a so-called Narva People's Republic, a fabricated separatist state in eastern Estonia. This narrative mirrors the exact playbook Vladimir Putin used in eastern Ukraine back in 2014, fabricating separatist identities, amplifying grievances, and preparing the ideological justification for a Russian ground invasion. Narva, a predominantly Russian-speaking Estonian city sitting right on the border, is being falsely portrayed by Russian media as oppressed and in desperate need of liberation, despite absolutely no evidence of such tensions on the ground. Estonian intelligence warns that while this remains a psychological operation for now, it could rapidly evolve into a physical destabilization attempt. In fact, this hybrid campaign has already bled into the physical world. There have been confirmed attempts to infiltrate individuals with real combat experience into Estonia under civilian cover. The Estonian government recently slapped entry bans on over 260 Russian nationals linked to the war in Ukraine, citing the severe risk that these individuals could act as provocateurs, saboteurs, or direct operatives for Russian intelligence. Despite Moscow's claims, these are not random migrants. They are highly trained, ideologically driven operatives tasked with preparing the battlefield for future operations. This combination of propaganda and covert infiltration points to a highly coordinated effort to destabilize Estonia from the inside out. Right now, Estonia is facing the most intense pressure of any state on NATO's eastern flank. Russian military aircraft repeatedly violate its airspace, including a recent, highly provocative incident involving a Russian Su-30 fighter jet entering Estonian territory with its transponders completely turned off. Maritime tensions are also boiling over. After Estonia detained Russia-bound vessels suspected of sanctions evasion and smuggling, Russia retaliated by detaining ships leaving Estonian ports, briefly seizing them in Russian waters as payback. On land, the provocations continue right along the Narva River border. Russian border guards have repeatedly removed navigation buoys and executed minor incursions into Estonian territory. These actions are perfectly calibrated, aggressive enough to spike tensions, but limited enough to avoid triggering a full NATO Article 5 response. The ultimate goal is to keep Estonia under constant, suffocating pressure, breed uncertainty, and test the absolute limits of the alliance. In response, Estonia has drawn an unmistakable red line. Estonian Foreign Minister Margus Tsahkna has made it absolutely clear: any incursion, whether by uniformed Russian troops or unmarked little green men like those used in Crimea, will be met with immediate and lethal force. To back this up, Estonia is actively surging security along its borders, strengthening internal defenses, and coordinating tightly with NATO allies. The direct message to Moscow is simple: any attempt to replicate the Ukraine scenario here will trigger an overwhelming military response. From fabricated separatist narratives to covert combat infiltration and persistent border provocations, the pattern is undeniable. Russia is escalating its rhetoric and actions in the Baltic region in a manner that perfectly mirrors the early stages of its campaign in Ukraine. However, Estonia is not caught off guard. By enforcing strict security controls and openly declaring its readiness to use lethal force, Tallinn is aggressively signaling its deterrent strategy. They are making it clear that any attempt to destabilize Estonian territory will be met decisively and violently. If you want to explore other key global developments that we could not cover in this video, make sure to visit our interactive news map linked in the description below. Thank you for watching this update, and a special thanks to everyone already following our coverage.